How are you? Welcome to Peace on the Streets.
Why, thank you for having me, Prince. And Mimi, hello.
Hello, ladies and
How are
gentlemen.
you?
We are great. We have Vennia Francois on the line right now. Please, Vennia, express to our listeners exactly your position and what are you doing?
Well, I am, as you stated, Vennia Francois, and I'm running for Congress here in the 10th Congressional District.
Amazing.
All right.
Madam Congresswoman Bruno Portigliatti here. How are you?
Hello, Bruno.
Hello,
We
my
just saw
friend.
each other.
Yes, I was just telling them.
They literally were just together. Isn't that something?
Yes.
So you guys are
That's
making
fantastic.
moves right here.
We don't stop. We don't stop. We were sign
No.
waving. We probably, I don't know. I went home, took a shower, and came here.
Wow.
So, Mr. Bruno, I see you a businessman and a political outsider. What does that mean?
What that means is that I have not been in politics. You know, I'm in business, right?
Okay.
So I have, for a long time, been in business. I work in higher education. I'm the president of a Christian college, Florida Christian University, private institution, and I also work with real estate developments, but specifically senior living communities. I have a legal background, so I studied political science and Spanish at USF. I went on to law school.
Okay.
Graduated from law school, and then I came back home to help manage the family businesses, where I've been working since the age of 11.
Okay.
Wow.
So specifically the university. The university, I started working at the age of 11. And,
That's
and
amazing.
worked there through, middle school, high school, college, and then
Wonderful.
even law school, and then came back.
Wow. So your family taught you the value of working, how not they just didn't give you everything you had to work for.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's if there's a lesson, one of the greatest lessons I've learned from my parents was that, we always joke, we tell a story that my dad would wake us up on a Saturday morning, let's say 8:30 in the morning, and say to us, and just, go into our rooms and be like, all right, get up, let's go, productivity.
Right.
At 8:30 in the morning, 9 o'clock in the morning, but every Saturday, but at the age of 11, 12, 13, 14, And then one day my brother just woke up and said, Dad, for crying out loud, I'm only 14. All you talk about is productivity, But, I can honestly say we have become very productive members of society because of the lessons that we've learned and the example too.
Yes. Hard work pays off.
Absolutely.
I feel like I'm with him because I'm a military brat, and my dad started me just like that. At 12, he actually took me off the bed and said, "Get up." And that's crazy. So Vennia as well, she's here. She's a representative for Orlando. So please explain again, what are you doing for our community, and you're on the ballot. We could vote for you.
Absolutely. Like Bruno, how Bruno was raised, I was raised similar to that because I am first-generation American, and my parents immigrated from the Bahamas, and they taught us, I'm one of 9 kids born to my parents, and they taught us how to be a success by working hard and by putting your sweat and tears into your passion. And so I made a decision to run for Congress, born and raised here in Orlando. After graduating from FAMU Law School, which is also here in Orlando, I transitioned and moved over to D.C. and worked on Capitol Hill for a number of years with 2 United States Senators, Mel Martinez and George Lemieux at the time. I also interned for John Micah on the House side. And so that is my foray into the world of politics. And so decided to come back home and make a run because we need leaders and we need better representation.
Absolutely.
Yes, we do.
And sidebar real quick. Did you know that Vennia was actually a gospel, if I'm not mistaken, it's gospel, and her sisters actually sung in a gospel group.
Oh, she
And
gonna
they
have
were-
to sing.
They were known for
You
this.
never should have told me that. She gonna have to give me a
agree,
note.
Prince. I agree because I've been hearing this, but I haven't had the opportunity to listen to Vennia sing yet.
She gonna have to sing something. Give me a note. You ain't got to sing to us all night, honey. You got to just give me a.
I did
You
my
know what I'm
research.
saying? Yeah.
Yes, on that one. Have mercy. But yes, I grew up in a musical family. Pretty much we were like the Von Trapp, the Sounds of Music. I have 5 sisters, and we grew up singing.
Wow.
When my parents moved into the area, we found a home church, Calvary Assembly, which is in Winter Park.
Great church.
And my family still attend Calvary Assembly to this day, so well over 40 years.
Wow.
That we've been in attendance. And so we grew up on stage singing, and of course Orlando is the entertainment, used to be the entertainment hub. I think it still is, when you have Disney and all the theme parks combined. So So that was just my experience growing up performing vocal as well.
Wonderful. That's why you can talk in front of people so well. You kind of used to already being in front of a crowd.
I'm used to being in the limelight. I'm used to being on stage. Yes, absolutely.
And she was known for this. I've had the community say, "Have you heard her sing?" I'm like, "Wait, what?"
We're gonna hear it tonight. We're gonna hear but first, we got to ask about their policies.
That's it.
How you guys feel about improving education?
Oh, there's so much we can do there.
Okay, give us a little something.
So at the local level, at the, let's say, middle school, high school, public education, I would say we have to continue to pay our teachers more. We made great strides here in Florida in the last legislative session. We gave teachers a pay raise.
Wonderful.
But I think we have to take it, even further and continue to do that so that we can be not only nationally but globally competitive. If we want, to have the best and brightest teachers staying here and teaching our next generations, then we have to pay them well. We have to reward them and honor them, most importantly. That's what I would say at the public education level, and there's obviously more things we can do there. But another key point too, and I'll let Vennia share some things too, is for me it's emphasizing, putting a greater emphasis on career and technical education more so than ever.
Okay.
People are struggling. A lot of families are struggling, right? Through this pandemic, a lot of people have lost their jobs. They've been laid off, furloughed. And a lot of them, they don't have the time to go back to college for, 3, 4, 5, 6 years.
Right.
So they have to get back into the job market. How do they do that? By focusing on a technical career program where, that would allow them, give them the opportunity to get back into the job market right away.
Wonderful. Vennia, what is your take on it?
I agree with Bruno. We have to give students and young adults and adults options and alternatives to a 4-year college. A 4-year college degree is not for everyone. Although I went through the steps of a 4-year college and then on to graduate school, it worked for me, but it doesn't work for, it's one size doesn't fit all. And so we're having a lot of people fall through the cracks. I believe in alternative trade schools as well, where folks could, learn a trade and work for a company and move up the corporate ladder of that particular company and make solid wage. And go on from there to become a small business owner themselves, or even to go back into school if they so choose to do so. So I think we need to open those doors and opportunities for individuals like that who need a second chance or just an opportunity to succeed in life. I also believe in school choice. School choice is very important. I believe it's the parents should be able to choose, and not depending on the zip codes that they live in, as far as the type of schooling that they decide to have for their family, be it private school, be it public, homeschooling. And so they should be able to, charter schools as well, so they should be able to choose what type of schooling that their child should be involved with.
I love what she's saying because that's real. I'm going through it when my child is going into, he is now in junior high, but where we're zoned at,
right,
is horrible school, and I'm not going to say it, but I won't put him in there. I'll do anything I can to not get him there. So what I've done was I was blessed to get him into a magnet program.
Great. Wonderful.
So now he speaks 3 languages.
Wow.
Sweet.
But I work so hard to make sure he's there. He's out of the zone, but they're accepting him because of magnet program. She's
Absolutely.
right.
And we should encourage students to get into programs like that as well as STEM education. I graduated with a science degree, biological science and biochemistry. And so I think, as well as agreeing with Bruno, that we need to prepare our students at the global international level, being able to compete as well, because we're moving more towards technology. And so I believe that's also another area that we need to encourage our students to delve more into.
How about defunding the police department? I'm hearing this a lot.
Good question.
This is just coming up a lot. Oh, we need to defund the police, defund the police. How you feel about that,
Right,
Bruno?
good question.
Absolutely
I think
not.
it's ludicrous.
Wow, both say
Right off
no.
the bat.
Both of you all said no?
Can you please tell the public why? Because the public's mostly crying that out.
Yeah.
Why?
So defunding the police is just it's absurd. It's one of the craziest things we could possibly do is to defund the police, right?
Yes, sir.
Especially when we're seeing what we're seeing throughout the country,
Right.
The unrest, the looting, and all of that. The last thing we can do is to remove funding from the police. I believe we do have to have conversations, serious conversations about. How can we ensure that we're not being discriminatory? How can we make sure that we're applying the same standard to everyone?
Right.
So that those conversations need to take place.
Correct.
But when we talk about that, we're talking about training. We're talking about equipping the police force. We're talking about, just ensuring that they have the sensitivity training, whatever it may be, but not defunding.
Well, I think some people were saying defunding the police was saying we need to take away maybe the part where they're going to the gun range so much, and maybe put it into maybe training. I don't think they're saying defunding all. Just stop.
You mean flip the fundings into something else, as in training.
And some said we could save a lot of money on blackjacks because they're not using the blackjacks, and they don't know when the last time they used pepper spray. And so maybe we can take that, and there's millions of dollars being spent on that. And with the tasers, they're not using them. So
they use the guns
So,
instead.
France, you're stating that they're claiming that they just want to move the monies around
yes.
different departments of the police force.
Correct.
Well, it goes to training, as we all stipulated. Yes, there needs to be more training, better training of that sort. But I certainly do not believe in defunding the police because they are the ones who keep our community safe.
Yeah, we need the police.
Absolutely.
And drugs, sex, and rock and roll, as they say,
I can honestly say, I knew everybody knew where they were when he passed away, and Whitney Houston.
Yeah.
That's the first person that I never met that actually jumped up and down and started crying.
Right.
I never met the guy.
Yeah.
And I was like, no. I was jumping up and down in my house like, no.
I remember when Elvis got killed. I'm from Memphis.
Oh, no way.
When Elvis died, that was a big thing.
How old were you when that happened?
That happened in like 78. I had to
No
be
way.
11 years old.
Oh, wow.
And a lot of people got killed on Elvis Presley Boulevard because it was a drunk driver, because once he passed, Graceland was packed. And someone ran into a crowd, killed like 3 or 4 people. It was crazy.
My goodness.
He passed away from a drug overdose, didn't he?
Well, yes. But then, yes, he did. And then I do know, because he went to Baptist, a hospital called Baptist in Memphis, and I knew some nurses. They said,
I can imagine seeing that.
But every time you pass Graceland, it's on Elvis Presley Boulevard, it's like International Drive. You always look over there. I don't care. Like, I'm from Memphis, and it still fascinates me.
Wow.
I went there. I was taking my dad there, and we were going to go there to the casino. And it was like $80 to get each. And he said, no, you give me my $80. We going to the casino.
Wow, I would love to go there. It's fascinating.
Yeah,
interesting.
it's great. So, the roads, the infrastructure. They saying in Florida we need better roads and things like that. What's your plan, Mr. Bruno?
Why does it take 10 years to build a bridge?
Not anymore.
It's taking forever on I-4.
Not cross on Turnpike.
There's so much going on I-4 forever, and those roads are so sharp, and you could really hit a wall.
You better be able to pay attention.
You have to.
So
let's get with it.
I think that one of the basic roles of government is to provide for our infrastructure, right? And sometimes I get, people say, do you have a limited view of government? It's not that I have a limited view of government. I think that government shouldn't be getting into our lives too much, right?
Okay.
It should focus on the essential things that we need so that we can use our creativity. We can have, not as many bureaucracies, not as much red tape, so that we can live our lives. We can, open up our businesses, live our lives, and just, prosper, right? When it comes to roads, I think that it's something that we have to continue to improve, right? Continuously improve.
Right.
Even in really nice areas, such as, for example, District 44 or Congressional District 10, where Congresswoman, and this is prophetic when I say Congresswoman, Vennia, is running for. We have, some needs in that area. For example, Oakland, taking the city of Oakland from septic to sewer, right? We have Windermere. We have an issue in Windermere where we only have basically 2 accesses to Windermere.
Right.
And you have to go at 20 miles, 25 miles an hour
and they
to
be
get,
waiting on you.
yeah, to get anywhere in Windermere. And you have 2 accesses from 535 or from Conroy Windermere, from Conroy Road in Apopka Island. So there are a lot of things we have to continue to do in our district to improve infrastructure, and water quality is one of them as well.
Okay.
We have to continue to emphasize, continue to, just make sure we have good water quality, enough water, but also good quality water.
That makes a big difference.
We have over 1,000 people moving into Florida every single day.
Wow.
Jesus.
And they're moving from
365,000 people a year. Jesus.
So, and they're coming from all over the place. And what does that do? Obviously, we begin to have scarcity of things, and then the quality of things also begin to be affected because of a variety of factors.
We don't even think about that.
Not at all, right?
Vina. Lady V. How about that?
Yeah.
I love that.
Lady V.
I actually like that, Prince.
That's her new name, Lady V. How you doing?
I have now been christened. I love it.
Yes. Lady V, how's your intake? I mean, how you feel about road infrastructure?
Well, on the federal level, I do believe that there needs to be support and funding for our infrastructure because it helps our commerce, right? The state of Florida and especially Orlando, tourism is our number one industry here. And so, as Bruno stated, we have millions of people that come into the state of Florida traveling to and fro, crossing state lines and things of that nature. So we do need to prepare for that. And so we need to, on the federal level, make sure that the dollars are there, that it's, in order for the states to provide necessarily.
Okay. Recover and grow Florida economy. They said the economy is down. With the business is falling apart. With the bars are going out of business. Everything is going out of business.
Wow.
People losing their business.
Small businesses.
Mr. Bruno, what we going to do to lift that back up? What's your plan, sir?
So one of the things that I've been hearing the most is how much families are struggling, right? We've been knocking on doors, just as Vina has, and talking to voters directly. Our team has knocked on over 25,000 doors.
Wow.
Since, for a few months now.
Gotcha.
And what I hear the most because of the area that we live in is that people have, lost their jobs from Disney, from Universal Studios, from SeaWorld, and a lot of different businesses have closed, or they've been laid off. They don't know if they're going to come back to their jobs. So we have to we have to focus on recovering the economy. How do we do that? In a lot of different ways. But I think that more than ever, we have to focus on removing anything that stifles growth, anything that prevents businesses from remaining opened, anything that prevents people from opening up a new business because of regulations, because of costs, added costs, because of, excessive licensing. That's an issue. Sometimes we have, specific careers that require a licensing at the state level and then another license at the municipal level too. So people are having to, by the time they open up their business, they incorporate the business, they get the everything in order, they get the insurances, they get the location, they get their license at the state level, then they get their license at the local level. How much time has gone by? How much money have they
6
spent?
months,
Or a year at least.
So I think now more than ever we have to remove any of those, any unnecessary regulation so that we can keep businesses open, so that we can get people back, their jobs.
Yeah.
If I had a magic wand right now, what I would do is make sure that the hospitality industry would, just come back up.
And because I have friends that worked at Red Lobster, and they was making $400-500 a day.
Wow.
And now, zero.
Yeah.
They don't even work there anymore. I mean, it's sad. And they was like, now they're finding other business to get into. And then, self-employment. That's a thing to think about, but because nothing is safe, but at least they do have a plan. Mr. Bruno, them have a plan. Vienna, Lady V.
Yeah.
I mean, what is your plan?
Well, basically, we know that families and individuals are hurting. We've heard it so many times, and I've met with several of them as far as individuals, families, business owners, just throughout the district. And our heart goes out to them because we are all in the same boat, and we're all in this together. People are being laid off, and they don't know where their next meal or their next paycheck, or whether or not they're, stressing out if they're going to become evicted in a day or two. So with that said, a lot of people are having to find themselves to reinventing themselves, literally, going into a second career. I've also heard that there are some businesses who are offering their employees a step down, like you could stay on board, but however, we're going to have to, offer you a position that's lower than the one that you have in order for us to keep you. And so individuals and families are finding themselves in that situation. And so what do? We know that rebuilding the economy is going to take a coordinated effort from the federal level on down to the local level in order to assist these families and anyone that's hurting at this time. And so I know that opportunity zones on the federal level have assisted a great deal in turning plighted areas into something more viable, allowing startup tech companies or just startup companies to flourish. But it's going to take time. And but these families are feeling that they don't have the time, if you know what I mean.
Right.
But we're just going to have to be open and honest and carry on as best we can. So the first and foremost that we need to try to do at least is to figure out, as far as opening back our economy in a way that, protect the Americans and opening up slowly. I think the state of Florida have done that pretty well in its efforts. Listen, I've done some roundtable discussions on the economy with several business owners. There's one business owner who owns 7 hotels within our district, and all 7 of these hotels are still closed. Wow. And as we know, Disney has laid off thousands of people within the past month, as not only Disney, but other theme parks and other industries that are here. And so we know that we need to get our folks back to work,
yes.
And as well as our kids back to school, but in a safe way. And so we just all need to work together on that front in order to accomplish that.
Bruno, I know you had something to say.
Yeah, I just wanted to share a quick story. Something that happened a few days ago. I got a call from a Hispanic lady, and she was talking to me in Spanish, and she was saying, I need your help because I saw, I think, your ad on TV, and I just sensed that I could give you a call and you could help. But she was calling, she was trying to get a hold of my team, and then I answered the phone.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
And because I've been doing that every single day.
Nice.
So I'm talking to her, and she says to me, I lost my job. I used to work at Disney. I lost my job, and as a result of losing my job, I haven't been able to pay for a lot of different things, obviously, and now I have lost my car. My car has been repossessed.
No. Jesus.
But look at how far this goes, right? So now she lost her job. Her car has been repossessed. Her mom has a medical condition, and her medications were in the car. Her mom has a walker, and the walker was in the car.
Wow.
Okay. So she calls me and says, I need to get our belongings back, but they're charging me too much money.
Of course.
I don't have the money to get our belongings back.
Mm-hmm.
So, I said, listen, I'm going to see what I can do to help you. But one idea you've given me, I said, is that we've only focused on moratoriums for evictions. We've been thinking about, not allowing people to get evicted from their homes because of the loss of jobs.
Right.
But we didn't think of how far the impact goes. How it's even their essential things such as being able to go around and drive around.
The vehicle,
and then how do they get a job if
that's
they can't
essential.
go around? That's essential, right?
And
so that's something we need to think about.
Okay.
Go ahead.
And a lot of people think saying catch the bus, with me, I'll be messed up. I got to catch them. I'm just saying I can't catch the bus.
That's not for everybody. Everybody can't do it.
No. So we got to wrap this part up.